Physical clutter and digital clutter both steal our time, and let's be honest, we can use those minutes to do something more productive, like taking better care of ourselves, right? Paper files accumulate on your desk, and you can see them even though you do nothing about them, but digital files are different. But it can be just as hard to find what you're looking for if your desktop is an unorganized mess, and we need to fix it. So today we're going to talk about how you can declutter and simplify your files by creating a digital file management system. So grab a pen and a piece of paper and get ready to take some notes. Now, if you follow the 3 steps that I share with you today, you can stop feeling overwhelmed, will save yourself some time, and will definitely be more productive. But before we dive in, I want to share the review of the week, which is from Mom So Hard 10. She says, after listening to Shannon's first few episodes, I found myself nodding my head a lot. I have been and am in the same boat as an entrepreneur. She gives great tips and reminds us all that we are more than capable. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and for leaving a review, Mom So Hard 10. Now, if you would like to show me some love by leaving a review, please go to Apple Podcasts and do so, and I'll feature you in an upcoming episode. Or you can sponsor an episode by buying me a coffee. I'll give you a shout out at either the beginning or the end of an episode and include a link to one social media profile in the show notes. Every podcast episode is evergreen and will be listened to over and over again, giving you limitless exposure to the amazing women in my community. If you're interested, a link will be in the show notes. And now, let's get on with the show. Welcome back to the More Than Capable Mompreneur podcast. I'm Shannon Baker, a coffee-loving mompreneur that started as a virtual assistant and turned into a total systems geek. And I want to help you shift your mindset and embrace your worthiness while creating systems in your business so you can be more productive and build success on your own terms without the mom guilt. Are you loving that? Well, I hope you're ready for real conversations that will help you beat the perfectionist inside, rediscover your strengths, and up-level your self-love in the mom cracks of time so you can stop letting fear hold you back because you are enough and you do enough. We are more than capable mompreneurs. So grab your cup of coffee, some sparkling water, or pour a glass of your favorite wine and let's dive in. There are 6 sexy systems every mompreneur needs to implement in her business, whether you are just starting out or if you've been in business for a few years. I talked about 3 of them in episode 3. They are the foundation that a successful business is built on. But today I'm going to talk about one system in particular which impacts your productivity and your ability to find what you need to operate your business and respond to requests in a timely manner. That's your file management system. The existence or lack of that system impacts your bottom line. Think about this. If you are still dependent on paper files, you probably have piles of paper all over your house, or they're concentrated in the area where you work the most. Then again, you may have gone digital and you have a ton of documents on your hard drive or simply on your desktop. Are they sorted? Probably not. Or do they hide what should be a picture on your desktop and look like a bunch of little collage images? Whether you are one or the other or a mix of both, I need you to go digital because it is much more efficient. Here are 3 specific benefits that you can experience by creating a digital filing system. 1, it will save you time and improve your customer service. Paper documents end up in piles and you end up searching through the random piles when you need to find something, which is frustrating on so many levels. How much time do you waste searching through them for one piece of paper? Those minutes add up. Personally, piles of paper drive me absolutely crazy, which is why I went digital years ago. I mean, after all, we run online businesses, so our files need to match. Not to mention it's way more efficient. Here's an example. How many times has a customer called you and asked for a file that's sitting on your unorganized desktop? So you can't send it until you get home. That is, if you remember to send it when you get home. But if your files were organized in a digital filing system, you would be able to send documents while on the go from your smartphone or tablet. And if you have a sound filing structure, you can easily locate what you're looking for and email it directly to them or just send them a link to the document. Benefit number 2, it will save you money by going digital. You won't have to buy as much paper or printer ink, which lowers your expenses. That is a savings of at least $250 a year. Now, what else can you spend that money on to help you take care of your family, enjoy life, or grow your business? I can think of a few things that I would do with that money, like buy coffee, of course, but just think about the investment that you can make in your business, like putting that towards a 1-hour coaching call that you need to help you overcome that hurdle that's keeping you from growing your business. And benefit number 3, it eliminates the paper piles, thereby reducing mom guilt. I talked about overcoming messy house mom guilt in episode 15. Well, guess what? Going digital means the paper messes are gone, and that's one less thing for you to feel guilty about. Now, if you haven't already done so, make sure you go back and listen to that episode, because I share 3 hacks with you that have helped me lose the mom guilt and live happily, even though my house isn't totally spotless. But now, let's talk about how you can create a digital filing system. Now, in episode 14, I share my top 5 tech tools that I can't run my business without. And one of those tools is Google Drive. Dropbox is also another popular option. Both of them are cloud-based storage solutions. You can organize and store your documents, photos, and more. You then can access your files on your computer and on mobile devices. That in itself will save you so much time. Now, if you're like me, you're probably on your phone or tablet more than you're on your regular computer sometimes. With Google Drive, all of your documents are still accessible. And the bonus, you can share files or folders with others with a simple link, which is great when you start to outsource tasks. This also eliminates email volleyball and document version confusion because everyone can make edits in real time in the same document. Now, how can you structure your file folders? Well, for starters, remember the goal is to help you locate the files easily and create consistent practices in your business. And no one organizes the exact same way, so I'm going to give you 3 simple steps to help you get started. But I don't want you to go overboard creating folders and subfolders. So let's get started. Number 1, remember to create a file structure that makes sense to you. If your folders don't make sense or you can't find your files, you won't stick with your system. But this doesn't have to be hard. Make one folder for any files that you can't figure out where to put them. This is a place for everything that doesn't really fit into your main folders. But once you start getting your files in place, you'll see if you need to add some additional folders for other categories that emerge, and then you can eventually store those files somewhere. Now, here are a few basic folders that I recommend you create, and then you can expand on that based on your needs. Number 1, a folder for your company documents. This is where you put all files related to establishing and running your business. That's your trade name approval, your EIN letter, articles of organization, operating agreements, certifications, insurance policies, rental agreements, your organization chart, and your job descriptions, all that stuff that keeps your business functioning. Folder number 2, your branding information. This would be your strategic plan, which outlines your vision, your mission, and your values. Detailed information about how your business looks everywhere online. That's your logo files, your branding board, your templates, your email marketing format information, letterhead, etc. All the visual templates and pieces that represent your brand. And folder number 3 is self-explanatory, your standard operating procedures. This is the step-by-step processes or the checklists that outline how to do everything in your business to keep it functioning. And folder number 4 is customer documents. This is where you put signed service agreements and your mutual NDAs. Now, step number 2, remember to work in small increments. You can't organize years of papers or files and chaos in one night, so you need to take baby steps. You know, I'm a huge fan of working in small increments like 10, 15, 20, or 30 minutes. That allows you to gain momentum, see the progress you're making, so it encourages you to keep going and you don't get overwhelmed with the process. So when you schedule time to sort your files, notice I said schedule time So be sure to put it on your schedule and set your timer when you start sorting. But when the timer goes off, stop and move on to the next task that you have for that day. But do this consistently until all of your files are cleaned up. And as you start to save new files, put them where they belong right away. That way you aren't creating new piles that you will have to clean up later. And that leads me to step number 3. Be sure to stick to your system. If you don't stick to your new system, your digital file cabinet will not stay organized for long. So save new files where they belong as they are created. Otherwise, you will end up with the same mess that you had when you started. And that's it. I've given you what you need to start decluttering your digital chaos and get your files organized online. Now, don't forget, this is a generic structure to help you get started. Make sure you organize your files based on how you operate your business. And even after you get your file management system in place, don't be afraid to change it up if what you've created isn't a perfect fit. The most efficient system will only come about through use and trial and error. And remember, start small and keep it simple. Expand your system as you go. This way, you're organizing in a way that doesn't overwhelm you and you aren't trying to force yourself into something that may not work at all. Otherwise, you'll abandon it. And if you need help mapping out your file structure, or if you would like help creating any of your business systems, let's hop on a call and talk about it. Book a 30-minute system strategy session with me. You can try to do this on your own, but it can be frustrating and overwhelming, especially because you're juggling so many balls right now. Working with me will help shorten that learning curve so you can get your systems in place and have time to focus on what matters most. You will leave that call with 2 to 3 things that you can do immediately to streamline the most important processes you need right now to reach your goal. And it's only $67 because you're part of my podcast community. Now be sure to click the link in the show notes to schedule your call and to listen to the other episodes that I mentioned if you haven't tuned in yet. But I'd like to thank you for tuning in to today's episode. And if you enjoyed the tips, or even if you learned something new, please let me know. Take a screenshot, post it in Instagram stories, and tag me at the More Than Capable Mompreneur. And remember, you are enough and you do enough. Until next time, keep calm and streamline.